Well, thank you. The title has slightly changed. My name is Andrew McCluskey. I'm the CTO of Aviva. I've been in software for over 30 years, and it's been exciting to see emerging technology come to life. It's equally exciting to see a collection of older technologies come together in an emerging solution. And that's what we believe at Aviva, is that there are three core components that make the industrial metaverse highly impactful and that will last for decades to come. But before I talk about those three core components, I want to step back just a little bit on the big picture. We believe the industrial metaverse recognizes two things. Time is precious, and the planet is precious. From time, we are all busy. Our teams are all busy. Our customers are all busy. If done right, the industrial metaverse can close vast geographic distances as well as vast information gaps in seconds. Regarding the planet, it's not just about reduction of air travel, which will happen, and it's really great. It's not just about more efficient wind farms and solar farms, which we do now, and it's great, and that'll be as well. But solving deeper problems that will truly make the Earth better for generations to come. An example, who here has heard of green steel? A couple people, which is really great. For those that haven't, it's steel as we use in modern manufacturing. However, the only energy source in its creation is hydrogen. Absolutely zero CO2 emissions. We are working with several customers now to make that a reality, and we believe the industrial metaverse only makes that accelerated. Let me step back and put this into perspective of a video of what we're working on now. And it's in context to two specific use cases. One is remote operations. The next is collaborative engineering. Now imagine you're in Florida and you're looking at a screen and you see something, an issue with your Houston plant. Well, it's very easy to go into the metaverse and literally in your Florida office walk over to that Houston plant. Now, once you're in the site, you're going to see three thermocouples. Two are green, one are red. And you want to investigate it. And not only can you see any data that you want to see, but you can look at the causal effects, and right then and there, you can create that work order to get it replaced and keep the operations going. Now, after that exhausting work, we're going to step out and go to Malmö, Sweden. Here, we're going to actually help other engineers collaborate and build a ship together. Now, this is a little bit different. In this environment, the ship doesn't exist. It's in design phase. And we have a bright engineer who's going to move this pump into a position that's better accessible from the stairwell. In real time, she's going to snap it into place, and you'll see it move. Now, it's not just about snapping into place. We can bring up the specific details to make sure all the piping, all the flow rates, everything is working well. This is just two engineers working together. But in large projects that we work on, it's not just two or three, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's hundreds of engineers working together on design projects. And in this ship, you can see what everybody's doing as you go through. You can even bring in captains of the ship who are domain specialists. They can walk through the ship. They can actually hear the vibration noises, figure out the clearances. The design has never been more efficient than this before. And then after this hard day of work, of going across two countries, we're engineers. We like to go to a pub once in a while. And why not have that virtual drink? So getting to those, who is Aviva? Well, we've been around doing software for 55 years, innovating only in the industrial and engineering space. That's all we do. And it's really hard to find any software companies that have a 55-year duration. And through the innovation, we've built up a large customer base. Hundreds of sites have our industrial software today. And we're working with them in very specific industries to make sure we work on the use cases that they find of most value. Now, getting back to those 3 core components, we talked about those. The first is the digital twin. But it's not just a digital representation of a physical asset. There's industry specificity that you need. There's high domain that's needed. For example, a simple pump. If you're in the water, wastewater treatment area, you have to worry about cavitation of that pump. If you're applying that pump in the chemicals, you have to worry about the temperature of those chemicals mixing, either too hot or too cold as it goes through the pump. In other instances, you're really worried about the power levels, going from 100% to 60% and back again, and what are the characteristics of that. That's just a very simple example of why knowledge of the digital twin is needed. Second is data. Now, it's not about the amount of data. We have tons of data, terabytes per day of data. It's about making that data actionable and useful to our customers. And finally, experience. The user experience is so important. But I can tell you, goggles aren't for everybody. And our technology is agnostic to that. Whether it be a cell phone, an iPad, going from your desktop. Maybe you want putting on goggles, maybe you don't. You don't need to. These are core elements that we believe make the metaverse stick. I'm going to go down into each of them slightly more, starting with the digital twin and its birth. So when you're in the process industry, you simulate things before you actually build things or even design things. You want to simulate things so you can know the outputs. In this case, a customer is building a wind farm and a solar farm. But of course, the winds change. So we have all this historic data of those winds. The brightness of the sun changes, clouds, weather. All the prediction models can go into this. So you can predict your kilowatts before you actually build the plant, build anything. And it's a nice way to build a digital twin. And that's where it starts. And this digital twin traverses into the operations world. Another way to build a digital twin or give it birth is when you buy an asset. This asset is an older asset. And you want to digitize it so you can leverage the best things, reduce the CO2 emissions, do everything that you need to. And you want to make modifications. So once you scan things, that's one part. But scanning isn't it. In this case, we're going to drill down to the scan files, but we have what's called an asset model underneath it. So you can actually see in what this design looks like. And you can go and you can actually start taking measurements. You can confirm things. You confirm distances. And more importantly, you can bring in your engineering design tools to add it in a modern way to complete the digital transformation. That's another way the digital twin is born. Then we go to operations. There's a ton of acronyms in this space that represent the solutions on the left-hand side. The bottom line is the solutions that help optimize and maintain these terrific assets. But it's not just about that, getting that data. You go to the right-hand side, smart cities are also using. This is called the control room. We have, it's enterprise visualization. You have all these disparate data sources coming together, whether it's water utilization, the electric utilization, where the emergency vehicles are, maybe camera feeds. These exist today. These are control rooms in a modern operation. And imagine the benefit if you actually go into it. And these get big. This is huge. This is another customer, a 150-foot wall. All it does is provide all this information from 9 different facilities into one center control room. You can drill down into any aspect of it. And that's what our customers do today. And we believe the Industrial Metaverse is just going to be an extension of what they do today. On the data side, boy, this is a busy chart. But just quickly, on the left-hand side, you see these data sources, the digital twin. On the right-hand side, you see what's available today. It starts with a simple dashboard. Then you get into more enterprise visualization, control rooms, and then you can add on the metaverse. It's all incremental. But just focusing on the data. All these data types, it's really tough to discern what's important, what's not. And so we do the heavy lifting by applying machine learning, AI, knowledge graphs, contextualization of all these different data types, and as an outcome, it makes it highly efficient. The third area is experience, getting back to those goggles. This is a real asset viewed from a tablet. So in this case, it's $1 million asset, and we want to do maintenance. So we had customers that want to say, well, I want to bring down the learning curve of my maintenance engineer. Well, we can record the exact procedures that engineer needs to make. So when they go to site, they just bring up the tablet. It's a guide, it's a tutorial. Now this is just a simple circuit breaker, but these procedures get more and more complicated. But you don't need that goggles. If you want, you can have them, but this will work on your smartphone as well. It's really that easy if you make it agnostic. The second thing about experience is being an extension of what our customers do today. An example is collaboration amongst experts. Now, there's companies on the right-hand side looking at these virtual conferences and stuff. That's great. It's not our focus area. What we're doing is working on the left of bringing in teams, because our customers use Microsoft Teams, bringing teams in the environment. So then we can bring our experts in anywhere in the world to a person that's traveling in the metaverse anywhere in the world. And the reason why we want the facial expressions. We want the body language. Is it an inquisitive look? Is it something else? Is there confusion? We don't want that masked by avatars. And conversely, that specialist she can see what the person in the metaverse is seeing through exactly the same areas. So it's a complete portal between the real world and the metaverse. Finally, on experience, to be extremely easy and useful. Easy from creating, from deploying, administering, and using. That's what we're doing with the Industrial Metaverse. And useful, we want to work on the use cases most important to our customers. And that's remote operations, engineering, et cetera, and we're just building upon that. Look, there'll be a lot of noise around the social implications of metaverse, especially in context of gaming or what we call corporate metaverse. We are excited about the industrial metaverse and its huge potential impact on those two precious things mentioned earlier, time and the planet. We believe the digital twin, data, and experience are coming together to create a new era and more usefulness to any of our customers than they've ever had before. It's really going to be amazing. Thanks for your time today.